is a legend of the sport. He is a former UFC champion and now a Misfits Boxing champion. My great pleasure, as always, to speak to El Kukui himself, Tony Ferguson. Tony, if I would have told you a decade ago that you were going to be a boxing champion one day, would you have believed me?
Oh yeah, it's just a matter of time, man. It's just a matter
How,
of time. I mean, UFC kind of kept me busy for a long time, but change of sports is what we do, man. And it's like season, so here we are. Misfits Boxing, December 20th in Dubai, baby. We're gonna go back and we're gonna unify these belts.
I love it. Let me ask you, like, how was that experience going out there in boxing? You looked incredible. You got a great knockout. I mean, obviously, you've had, obviously a great stand-up in your MMA career, but, like, what was that experience like boxing for the first time?
First of all, I got to put shoes on. Secondly, whenever the lights come on, sometimes during the cage, like the only time I would ever find myself in the cage was during fight night. So not even during practices or leading up to the fight. So it was something different. When I went and I trained with Goggins, Goggins said it perfectly. He's like, when those lights come on, something different changed about you. When pandemic hit, something changed about me, and it was kind of like, I don't know, it just was not the same as it was before, like the luster when it was like with the 12 and everything, and then with me and Khabib and all the other shit. It just wasn't the fucking same. It didn't hit me the same. So like when I was walking out of Misfits, it was a completely different thing. One, not seeing UFC everywhere, right? Being all like kind of in the psyche. The second thing was the flames. It was the coolest shit. When they fucking went, it felt like it was like a new beginning. It was amazing. It wasn't what I was used to. It was a completely new feeling. It was a sense of awe, which I remember what Goggins was talking about. He was talking about when the lights turn on, something different happens. Well, when that heat and the lights turned on, something snapped inside of me. I went back to how I was when I would prepare for like wrestling matches. I would be in the back as my teammates are over there going on the mat. They're already wrestling, but I got to prepare myself. This was that moment where I haven't felt like that in a long time. Walking into the cage is completely different. Walking into a box ring is completely different. Each to their own sports. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but I'm just not one of you motherfuckers. I'm me. And this is what I fucking do is I go in there and I fucking win championships. And I'm back.
You obviously you look great. You got the knockout. Obviously, listen,
Fuck you,
Tony. If
dude.
you
It's
were,
my first fucking boxing match. I mean, people can count on me as much as they fucking want. They can count on YouTube, all this other shit. He was 6-2, comes from a fighting background. His coach and everybody that were over there, very knowledgeable in the sport. A lot of these kids, you think they're gonna let me come in there and fucking knock their head off? No, these motherfuckers are trying just like every fucking other person out there. And if they got money like Mr. Warren Spencer, they're gonna go out there, gonna hire the best fucking people. Tate, same fucking thing. You guys gonna go out there. People say the right fucking things, you're gonna piss you off and you're gonna get to fucking work. Warren, that dude is what? 1-0. I'm 1-0, which is fucking crazy. And in MMA, I'm 29-11. But this isn't MMA. This is boxing. This is a brand new sport. I mean, that's the best part about it though. People can't hate on me. I'm fucking 1-0 and a world champ. I'm fucking still building, man. Like there's other fighters out there that are like beginning in their career at these regional levels taking bullshit can fucking fights. Not one time have I ever fucking taken a can fight. I'm fucking 41 years old. I'm still sparring hard. I just literally this is all fucking fresh and new to me, especially putting on the shoes, which is very fucking exciting because I have many fucking championships with cleats, dress shoes on, and wrestling shoes and all those other fucking shoes. When MMA happened, I felt naked. It was fucking weird. But I still win and I still won the world title. So that's what champions do is they adjust.
absolutely, Tony. As I was like, if you retired tomorrow, you would go down as one of the greatest of all time. You've accomplished
I'm never
everything.
retiring. I am never fucking retiring. You can omit that fucking shit away from your voice.
But
But
you
look at when it
you've
goes into this. Let me tell you this. I had a conversation with Coach Brock, and I asked him. He's like, Tony, after like maybe I forget what loss it was or whatever fight it was, and Coach always says the same stuff. He's like, save your money, pay your taxes. Never really fucking like bloats up too much stuff. He's a smart fucking guy. Just save your money, pay your taxes every fucking time. And the other thing was, he was like, you should think about retiring, Tony. I can't fucking listen to anybody. Fuck no. Why would I listen to anybody that's not in my shoes? You're not here. You don't know what the fuck it takes to be here. You might have your fucking opinion, but you don't fucking like go sit here through the bullshit with me. Nobody fucking does. Through the ice baths, through the fucking saunas, through the fucking running, the late night bikes. Nobody fucking does that shit. So for you guys to critique me and fucking any other person that's coming out here doing this shit, fuck. I asked Coach Brock though, and I said, Coach, no, what do guys like us do when we retire? I value his opinion. And he says, you know what, Tony, find your second passion and follow that with everything you've got like you did your first. Sports is my passion. I love sports. I love competing. I love competing at a high level, very high level. Aside from the character and everything like that, I've always been a captain. I've always been a leader. Don't have to say too much shit. But when I say shit, it's the right shit. And people fucking listen and people win when they do. That's what happens, man. But you have to have your serious cap on. You can't fuck around too much anymore. This is what it is. I love this sport. Never been allowed to play it. Here I am. 2026 is around the corner, so I wanted to fight. 2025, we're gonna finish this year fucking strong, damn it. And damn it, I'm excited. I am excited because I've been putting in some good.
I love it. Can I ask, like, what, like, you've maintained such a great relationship with Brock since the show? Like, what has that meant to you to always have like that relationship with him, where you could just reach out and like talk to him about whatever, like having that guy in your corner?
I think that it's very important for any athlete that's right there listening. As a man, I'm a man, I'm not a woman, I'm a man. So you have to understand this. As a man, I'm not saying it doesn't go for everybody. I have to be able to look out for my best interest and for my family. And I have to trust those around me that help get me there. My coaches help point me in the right direction. I was very fortunate for people to make a phone call. If they didn't know how to get me to that next spot, they weren't greedy enough to keep me at that level. They made a phone call and they said, look out, this kid's working. It wasn't like nobody got me to where I was at. I could drag my ass there. I went to Goggins Hell Week. You guys know I can fucking make that trek. I fucking earned it. And because I earned it, some people, sometimes, if I was lucky enough, they made a phone call, but I still had to work. They're like, look out for this kid. That's it. Maybe something like that. And by the time it did, it wasn't easy. Like every fitness said, still keep in contact with some of my best coaches. I'm gonna be real with you. I really do. My dad, my stepdad is one of my best ones. Be real with you. Always coached me through my whole entire life. That's my relationship with that. To be able to relate through experiences. I've had multiple sports experiences. Not saying I know everything, but I'm an athlete. A lot of coaches out there, they're missing something because they're forgetting what it's like to be an athlete. They want to direct. You want to direct. You want to point, fucking click. You can't do that. That's why it burns out. People get burned out. You have to come together as teamwork, like in a football team. You play football?
I did actually play football throughout high school. Yeah,
What position?
running back and linebacker.
Okay, responsibilities, right? Can't always just blitz it. Can't just run to any hole that you want. You have your responsibilities, whether you're going to block or whether you're going to run the ball or not run the ball. Doesn't matter how pissed off you get or how happy you are. You have to have your responsibilities, correct? This is for the love of
100%.
the team. For the love of the team. And I explained that to my son, the 9U team. I've coached football for the last 3 years, and I've seen our teams go from decent to shit to fucking amazing. And I've been with different sides. I've seen coaching at different levels, right? Not one is right, not one is wrong, but not one is mine. When I stick to my guns and I know and I understand what I know, which is fucking defense and a lot of good stuff on that, and we keep to our responsibilities, we all fucking win. That's what I know. And when you align yourself with people and coaches that are like that as well, whoo, boy, it's fucking baptism under fire, like Rocky, that movie. I'm living that dream right now, Damon. Like I'm 29 and 11 in UFC, MMA, right? Just go. I have like one amateur fight. Turned pro overnight. They turned me pro. They brought some big 200 and some odd pound dude with tattoos all over his face, and they said, "You want to turn pro?" Nobody was in the gym. You're gonna have to fight him right now. 3 rounds. He's kind of a big guy, right? We're gonna go boxing gloves. They're like, no, you're gonna go MMA. Ah, fine, fuck it, whatever. Teardrop tattoo and everything. So I'm looking at the dude, and I'm looking at this commissioner, and I'm like, all right, fuck it. As soon as he says go, I hit a fucking quick ankle pick low single. I dropped him to his fucking back, knee on belly. I held his hand behind his head, and I say, you sure you don't want to go big gloves? I'm a big self-defense artist. I love martial arts, but it's called self-defense, right? Now, in self-defense, you're not out there trying to hurt people. I had to kind of learn how to go out there and then freestyle my way to do this thing for the UFC for a long time. Finagled. I didn't have a real coach to show me how to do MMA. I had to figure this shit out. Broken arm and everything. This is an opportunity for me to be able to pay it forward to a lot of these younger athletes saying, look, you got a guy that's willing to show you some cool stuff, that's willing to spend some time with you. Listen for a second. I was that guy with like Cheeto, Tab, Caleb, all these guys pointing him in the right direction to make sure that, hey, man, You don't have to do all that other shit. You stay on track doing your fucking thing. You work hard, surround yourself around good people. In the stuff that you want to learn, make sure that you surround yourself around people that know more than you. That's the real talk. And be humble. Be fucking humble. You know, it's easy to float around there and it's easy to talk shit to get views and all that stuff. But the biggest approach that I have had is when you keep it organic. You keep it super organic. Like what are some things that keep you calm? Like what are some things that keep you going through the day? Like instead of having to compete with the Joneses in the next door, like oh, the grass is green on the other side. It might be fake, right? You know, boys or one of the Gracies said that. They said the grass is green on the other side is fake most of the time, except for mine. This is what I added in because I put that shit in myself. Like if you put in the work, then you know what the fuck you're getting. You can't expect somebody else to understand your work ethic. But what you can do is you can preach it, but it ain't gonna do shit. What you can do is demonstrate it by showing, by doing volunteer work, by picking up trash, by being nice. Try not to curse. I'm working on that one. Really am. It's hard, you know me. You know.
It's hard. It's hard.
And the other part is to be able to take new opportunities. I just got done filming with Bozzy the other day. Self care. You know what I mean? I took care of myself for the last year and a half, and which is amazing. You know, and to be not too long winded, but you know, my dog passed away the day before we got back. You know, when we flew back from winning and stuff. So it's been a level like not too high, not too low, but it's life, and it's fucking going, which is amazing. And that's where I'm super fucking happy because I'm experiencing it all. Could have had more experience in it with UFC and stuff, but trying to figure everything out, that time allotment, it's crazy, right? And now we have the new times where everybody has accessibility. When we have the internet, everything is getting learned faster. To my young athletes out there, don't always think that you know it all. Somebody's going to know more than you. But to always be able to be humble enough to learn, but to apply, and then if you can reteach it, is the next step. That's when you know that you're at that next level. But this is a little snippet. Yeah, that's me
No.
paying.
And by the way, let me say I was very sorry to hear about your dog. I'm a dog owner myself, man. Like people, if you don't have a dog, you don't understand the love you have for a pet. And I was sorry to hear that, man. I know that's heartbreaking.
I had, my homie Cisco very, he had his pups and, one passed away. And I was like, I know it was coming. People were like, your pup is getting home. I want to stalk him. Like, shut up, bitch. Like that's my dog. You're going to talk your shit. But in the reality, like, you're right. It's like a family member. You don't realize it. And it didn't hit me for a long time, man. I'll be real with you. And when it did, it hit me like a fucking brick. And it hurt. But we ended up getting a little new fur ball. Her name's Nugget. And, rest in peace, Knuckles. She's always in my heart. But this is that new chapter where I had to be able to say goodbye. I had to say goodbye to the old me, that whatever the fucking that was during that pandemic that I created. So I didn't like it. And I tried to beat the shit out of it. And I got rid of it. And through sparring and through some good things, I brought back a certain character of mine that I really needed and I missed a long time. And that's just real stuff, man. Because you don't find that unless you're really fucking working and moving. To me, boxing and the conditioning and all that, it takes a long time for me to get conditioned in boxing. MMA, a little bit faster. I can just move in MMA a little bit different. My heart ticks a little bit faster, right? And we fight for 5 minutes. We don't fight for 3 minutes. I went from wrestling matches going for 2-minute rounds to like 3 and like 1 fight, an amateur, like 1 pro, and then went to 5s. I don't know anything different. So right now what I'm figuring out is the science behind all of my shit. I'm putting the numbers behind stuff, damn it. I'm putting the numbers, I'm crunching it. I'm not asking anybody outside here. I'm not saying too much information to too many people because I know the numbers, I know what the fuck's going on, and I'm crunching them and I'm finishing. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna work on my finishing rate, is what I'm doing. I'm not gonna start slow anymore. I'm ready for this shit.
I love it. Can I ask, you mentioned when you talked to Brock, he said, find that second passion. Is it safe to say boxing is that second passion now?
And I understand why he would say that. When you have your athletes, the last thing you want to do is you want to see them get hurt. That is from any sport. That's just how it goes because they're underneath your care. You're supposed to care like that. At least after you have that relationship with your athlete. Brock's my coach. What the fuck, bro? I mean, I got brought out to Death Clutch. Who gets brought out to Death Clutch to get trained underneath Team Lesnar like that? Like Marty Morgan. I always wanted to go and wrestle for the U for University of Minnesota. I'm gonna be a wrestling coach. I'm gonna be a fucking college wrestling coach one day. Like I own a 50-year-old wrestling takedown machine business that I bought from Dan Gable's roommate, Coach Catcher. This is my retirement. Like wrestling is my life. I love wrestling. Like if I wasn't doing all this fighting and competing and stuff, yeah, I would coach more. I would apply, but none of these fuckers deserve it. Do you understand that part, David? What are they gonna do with the information that I give them? Nothing. They won't do anything useful. When I find that one, other two, maybe three people that will, maybe I'll give them snippets and maybe that'll turn their whatever that was going on in their life to something good if they follow that. Because I was fortunate enough to have somebody kind of do that for me. And I remember somebody was cool enough to be able to tell me to pay it forward. So if I'm able to do that kind of thing, they'll be able to go and do that to somebody else someday. And I'm about hospitality management, and I've been doing that for the last, we'll say, probably 5 to 6 years. Learning how to manage, learning how to run businesses, learning how to manufacture, learning how to be the fucking Iron Man, making things like just really under the fucking radar, make myself more sharp. And when you allow yourself to grow, like my hairline, you start to feel good. And that goes with taking that chance. It really does. Because me, you would tell me about my hairline, I would show you a picture versus how it is now. Damon, I'm gonna be real with you. All wrestlers and all men think about it the same fucking way, even women. I remember during my Oliveira fight, Susie, the makeup artist, Miss Susie Q, she was having a hard time. And I put her in contact with the gentleman Steve from Complete Health and Wellness out in Las Vegas. He had all the good stuff for UFC, had all the good stuff, the red light therapy and everything. He's the first guy that had it shit. I put her in contact with him and just kept a really good contact with her. And before the fight, I said, fuck it, I shaved my head off. I was like, I got you, Susie Q. I was like, let's do this. My hairline was way up here. I could see how bad it was. How bad it was. But then I hear a lot of stories, right? That's not just males that go in for hair treatment. And it's females too, and then you have cancer patients, and you just have like certain patients. Everybody goes through it. And when I'm not a snippet for Bosby, but this is how like my life has been since I've taken a break. I used to just put my hat on all the time, when I had the procedure. I just got so used to it. And it was only until I stopped worrying about thinking about looking and hey, is it there yet? Is it there yet? Is it stop thinking about it? Was then when my wife finally says, hey, why don't you leave your hat off? I was like, what do you mean? It was only until I stopped looking for that growth when somebody else fucking realized it. And they said it. And that clicked where it was that part of that chemistry formula that something is missing right until you get it. But you're going through the motions and you're not worried about that part. It comes together because somebody had mentioned something. And that's when it happened. It just all fucking just started going good from that point. Self betterment, stretching every day, making sure that I'm not eating like shit, making sure, like just everything is following in line because with a new chance becomes new opportunity. You can't fucking waste it.
I love it. Let me ask you this, Tony. And I know it's kind of a big question, but you come out of the UFC, and we're kind of waiting to see like what's Tony going to do next. Where's his next move? GFL comes up, but then you sign with Misfits, and it's boxing. You've not done professional boxing, so we're like, what's it going to look like? What's Tony going to look like? You go in there, new organization, first time out of the UFC in like 15 years, something crazy like that. You go in there, you have this huge knockout, you win a title. Can you give me a sense of like the feeling going into that fight versus the way you're feeling now about to defend your title? Like you're going, and now you've experienced it, you know what it's like.
Yeah. So check this out. In MMA gloves, you got fingertips, right? So if you got to go to the bathroom when you have your gloves on, good luck. So preparation is a little different in the back. So what I've been working on has been my warm up, which I've always had since I've played sports for a long fucking time. So it's like you go back to what you know. It's like okay, yeah, you have the experience now. You understand. It's not about like I've been. You said it, 15 years at the UFC. I fucking knew everybody. So like I would be there and I would be giving hugs and taking pictures, doing all this stuff and being Mr. I don't fucking know anybody at Misfits. I don't have to be Mr. Nice Guy. Like I'm there for work. I'm there for business. Like this is fun for me. Like so I'm focused in. I'm zoned in on what the fuck I gotta do, which is fucking awesome. Misfits runs a very good show, super professional, super professional from security to behind the stage. I, w- I'm not gonna compare initials. But what I would say is it's very fucking well ran. Like I'm impressed. I've been to a couple of shows And even talking to my agent, like it's a really rad show. I love the people, dude. It's just a different fucking vibe. Not saying one's better than another. It's just not them. You get it? Like, but it's the same aura, same fucking fight aura. Like, choose your character. Random. Fuck it, bring it. I know the fucking controls. Pick any player. I'm gonna kick your ass. That kind of shit. You walk in there with that kind of confidence. No one be like, yeah, I put in the effort. I know what the fuck I want. This doesn't stop here. Next year, I'm competing in wrestling. I'm competing in jiu-jitsu. I'm competing in MMA, boxing. Like, who's gonna tell me no? Big Guns upstairs gave me this talent. It's up to me to make sure I go out there and I do it. If I got the energy and I got the will and I want to, of course you're gonna find me out on that mat. I'm not here to go and save the world and make a difference and do for everybody, because when I did that, I didn't really get anything back besides being hurt a lot. I gotta focus on me and making sure that I can do the best me out there, so that way you guys feel better about yourselves instead of crying when I end up in the hospital. I know that fucking hurts, and I know that you guys felt that way the same way I did, and you guys are gonna feel that same fucking way December 20th, the fight before Christmas in Dubai.
I love it. Can I ask Tony? You mentioned like not comparing letters, and in no way, shape, or form am I taking a shot at the UFC, anything like that. But
I
you feel
love
like
the
this was
UFC.
a
Look, I love the UFC. I have not one fucking bad thing to say about them because I've earned my fucking way there. I'm a man. We've gone through fucking not pissing contests, but fucking wars, me and the company. But like, look, man, I've been to hell and back, and I've fucking done it. And usually you have like people like you bitching a lot if they were to. I laugh at it when you have like maybe fighters that have like 2 or 3 different fights. That's it, and they're bitching like they fucking like they gave their whole life for this company. I'm like, you're a bitch. Shut the fuck up. Like, I don't want to say too much on that. Like, it's a humbling fucking thing to see and to understand the politics and everything. But yet here I am still fucking going while everybody else is still talking. But that's the difference, thing between me and everybody else. I'm a doer. I'm a go getter. I'm a leader. And I've always been a captain. Captain fucking plows the way for other people to fucking follow and roll. That's how it fucking goes. Instead of talking. That's what
but
I'm
there
doing, man.
there's such an energy about you right now. Like it almost feels like this was a necessary fresh start for you. If you know what I mean. Like this is what you needed.
I played 3 different sports, bro. I played 4 or 5 growing up. And 3 at high level. Meaning seasons change, sports change. It's stale. It was stale for a long fucking time doing MMA. You're talking about a sport. I love the sport, but I accidentally ended up in the sport. I got a fucking business card that said 7-day free pass. I didn't even have cash to fucking go there. So I fucking was like, all right, grandma, can I borrow your card? And I go in there, and then the fucking knucklehead owner fucking throws all of his fucking fighters at me. I end up ankle picking them, take them down, fucking down to the ground. And I realized that this world is not a friendly place, that you have to keep your hands up. And I had friends that were nice enough to tell me that. So I learned this whole fucking way, doing a lot by myself and understanding. And people were like, well, you did it by yourself, Tony. You're a Ronin. This. No, bitch. Do you know how many teams I've been a part of? High fucking level with great coaching, that I had to take their coaching and that mentality. When I couldn't find it, that is what I had my foundation on. When other people could not rise to the occasion, I had to resort to that. And when people could rise to that occasion, I had to go back to that and use that as extra credit, thus making my role a little bit different than everybody else's. Not better, just not fucking you.
Well, you're a legend. We all know that, and I think this matchup with Warren Spencer is going to be a ton of fun. Obviously, I mean you got to argue like Salt Poppy. You even had more experience when you look at what he did, knockouts. He had a great level of experience, but Warren Spencer, tough fight, first title defense. I'm sure it's not the last title defense, but I'm sure you're excited to go in there and knock out another guy.
That's the next part. I was knocking fools out before I started learning the rest of the game, right? I was knocking fuckers out like before I started learning Muay Thai and all this other stuff. Like that's the best part. When I'm learning new stuff and I'm having fun and I'm loose, you got like me versus RDA in Mexico, which was like 260 unanswered punches almost, like fucking like feeling the cha-cha movement in there, man. I called my coach from Grand Valley and I had him run me through some stuff. And we did like 6, 7 rounds, and we tell him he's giving me the feedback as a good coach would. Not a trainer, coach, right? The coach. Give me feedback on where he sees where this needs work, or this is good and this is best and this is oh shit. Like this is like, and that's feedback. And what he's doing is we're working through it too. And I had that relationship with my coach, Coach Dave Mills, since 2006. Been my college wrestling coach. So it's like it's different. Like you keep in contact with the people that are like that. You make sure that you keep them near and dear to your heart because you know what I mean? Everybody needs a hug once in a while, man. And it's this fucking season, dude. And it's cool as shit to be able to be moving how I used to in college. And I'm getting back to that spot. Like, so you guys are gonna see me wrestle next year in freestyle. And some grappling, like I said, with Coach Jiu-Jitsu and Coach Eddie and stuff. It's interesting because my time now is solely singled upon one sport. I don't have to split my pie in 10 different sections and then worry that I'm not doing enough in other ones where that stress factor becomes too much. I got to worry about one sport at a time. And right now it's boxing.
I love it. I love it. Well, Tony, I say this sincerely as a guy that's been caught following and covering your career for so many years, man. I was so happy to see you go out there and get that knockout, and now I cannot wait for this fight in Dubai, see you defend your title, back on top where you belong, and I appreciate you always taking time for me. You always have. And, man, can't wait to see you back in there throwing the hands in just a matter of days now.
I know, right? I'm getting ready, man. I'm training around the clock. I hit about 20 miles last night on the bike, and so it's like, it's cool, dude, to be able to feel like this good. It's good, man. I can't explain it, but it takes effort to get to that position. And I'll leave you with this. The last analogy I always say it is when sometimes people don't realize that a plant is not growing anymore because they're so busy, right? I had one coach who would always tell me, he's like, make sure you water the plants, Tony. And it brought me back to how I used to be. Always fucking gardening. But I was like, yeah, sometimes you get so busy you forget. But sometimes when you don't add enough nutrients, you don't have enough sunlight, sometimes you have to move that shit. You have to move your stuff. Move it to a different area. We are getting enough sun and you are doing enough things in the nutrients, but it doesn't happen overnight. You know, you expect it to happen overnight, but when you don't realize it, right, when you're not paying attention to it and you keep with the routine, somebody else will notice it and they notice the hard work that went into it because that becomes your routine. So, you know what I mean? Stay with the guys, stay happy, healthy, and I know you guys are gonna be awesome this year. So am I. So 2026, fucking coming at you hard on the right hook.
I love it, Tony. It is always an honor and a pleasure to catch up with you. Have fun in the fight, man. Obviously, it's gonna lead to a great Christmas. You get your knockout, you get a win at Christmas. So thank you as always for the time, man. I appreciate it, and I look forward to catching up again in the near future.
Thanks, Devin.